Hey guys, and welcome again to the Money Game with AC. So in this video, I want to quickly cover what actually happened in the stock market today, where we saw these huge losses, even though we started the morning in a green zone. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, what happened today? We end up, starting pretty good. This is the Nasdaq I'm showing on the chart, on the green zone right here, and then boom, we fell off and then came back and then kind of consolidated flat around, the previous close of yesterday, and then back in the green zone, and then boom. I think right here, this is when we started having the Jerome Powell speech. So Jerome Powell, who is the chairman of the Fed, acting like the central U.S. bank, he was supposed to speech to talk as he does every week or every other week, about the major topics into the financial world. So today was supposed to talk about inflation among other things, but the market was really expecting him to say what he will actually do to contain the fact that interest rates are spiking, the fact that we might have inflation coming. So what is inflation? If you don't know what inflation is when the prices of items, the prices of stuff like groceries, houses, utilities are going up and up and up. So it's something that is supposed to happen every year, but the fact that we had a very special year in 2020, then the US bank and the Fed the Fed were buying bonds in order to control the interest rate and to minimize inflation, because whenever there is inflation, that will reduce the amount of capital gains that you have. It will reduce the amount of corporate gains, meaning lower stock prices for investors in the stock market. So what the Fed has been doing then was, they were pumping money into the market by buying their own bonds. In that way, they are flooding money into the market, like for infrastructure, for education, for for houses, for almost every other sector, because that will transpire into a bigger, stronger economy down the road. But actually what happened today is that Jerome Powell, he started speaking and he said, you know what, I know that inflation is supposed to come, but until it did reach 2%, I'm just gonna lay back, chill a little bit, and maybe then I will start buying bonds. And like people went, whoa, what is happening? This is crazy. We can't allow that to happen. And then they started, freaking out, and everyone just continued to sold, which ended up having what we currently have now. Even though, around the final hour, or the final 2 hours, we kind of recovered a little bit, but we at these levels, we are still down more than where we were standing at the end of 2020. So at this point, we are pretty much back to where we were trading at 2020 for the Nasdaq, especially. So other indexes, the Dow Jones with industrials like Deere, Home Depot, S&P 500, the Nasdaq, everything was down. The Russell, which is a smaller index for smaller companies, even way down than the rest of it. Even crypto was down today. Like Bitcoin, at the point, it was down 6%. Ethereum was down 5%. Litecoin, it didn't matter. Everything was just down because of this interest rate thing. Because again, when interest rates are rising, people will say, hey, if interest rates are rising, and the fact that if I put my money into bonds, then they are safer, because basically, technically, I can't lose my money, so it's kind of guaranteed. So why would I take a risk investing in stocks, especially in tech stocks like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Zoom? All of those stocks, all of those companies had huge gains into 2020, and getting into 2021, they continued to went off because it was just crazy, the levels at where they were trading. And now that interest rates are starting to rise, people are like, I don't know exactly at this point what will be next for these stocks. So with interest rates as high as they are right now, I maybe get my money off of it and put it into bonds, because it's guaranteed and will have fixed income coming in, like rent money. But personally, I think this is an overreaction, because we did know inflation was supposed to come. At a point, it was supposed to come with all the money, with the stimulus checks that the Fed were pumping into the market. At the point, it was supposed to come. Now, to me, this is not a crash. It's what I call a rotation. It's a transition, because right now people are just freaking out because they don't know what will be next. And whenever there is uncertainty, whenever people don't know what will be next, whenever they know they're not, monitoring or controlling what the outcome will be, they're freaked out. And whenever they're freaked out, they will take the money out of the market. So I think if you look at here, you can see that the only asset that is red today, it's oil. And I think this is a big signal to what's happening to the economy. So as we are reopening the economy, as we have more vaccines coming up, as we have less and less people getting infected with COVID, people are starting to book vacations again. People are starting to get out again, or will start to get out again very soon. So oil will be at the center of all of this. In order to travel, in order to fly, in order to drive, in order to go to a different state by car, you need fuel. So at this point, I think people are getting money out of techs and people putting into oil, putting into airlines, putting into leisure. So if you haven't watched my video where I was speaking about, those stocks where you need to put your money into March as we recover, please go ahead and watch it. I'll put it somewhere here. So I'm betting huge for this reason on oil and gas, and I've been making huge gains since then. I mean, I invested 20,000 back in March, and right now I'm sitting on 200,000. That is multiplied by 100. That is 1,000%, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it will continue to go that way because we haven't really reached the levels that we were trading before the pandemic. So that's the reason why, that's what I'm doing, and I think that's everyone. The market is kind of shifting out of now. So if you want to also be in the same direction with the market in order to make sure you continue keep making money, you need to check it out, guys. You need to check it out. All right, this is what I had for you today. If you have any questions on which are the best stocks in the oil sector or other sectors as we are reopening the economy, please let me know in the comment section. I will make sure to make a specific video just on that topic. Until then, guys, I will see you in the next one. Take care.